When we bought Crown Rose Estate, one of the things we learned soon after moving in was that the power system would need to be completely overhauled, because some of the power dates all the way back to the time when the house was probably first electrified, which could have been in the 1930s. So as part of the process of modernizing the power system, we decided that it would be a great idea to put in a solar panel electric system so that we would no longer have to rely on carbon fuels to provide most of the electric for the house. When we first bought the house, the heat was actually provided by a coal-fired boiler that had to be manually stoked. So we've essentially gone from a 17th century technology to a 21st century technology in terms of reducing our carbon footprint.
Location is important when you're looking at a solar project, whether you're putting it on the roof or in a field. We decided to put it in a waterway, which would best preserve the land as well as the farm fields. Go.
All right, these are your microinverters. What it does comes from the panel to your microinverter. Comes out from DC power to AC power and comes back 240 to the panel. What it does is, if you ever have a problem with this panel, this has a serial number on it, and we can locate it to this panel to this microinverter. So
Okay.
you don't have any downtime. Or why you have so many microinverters, if there's an issue with the panel, it won't kill the whole string. It'll only kill your one panel, which you won't lose power losing 14 panels because one's covered up or shaded too much. So, and if there's ever a problem, we know exactly which panel, which inverter, and we go directly to it and fix the problem. It saves on, time down and everything like that. Alright, this pipe right here is going to be our main feed, which goes, matter of fact, 336 feet that way, through the woods, over to in the yard in your main house.
Okay.
It was blown through after they put the pipe in. They actually bored the pipe from here over to the field, and then they took their compressor and put a bag on the end and blew the string through. So then, they cleared the line, plus had a brand new string through it. So now we'll take the rope, pull it through, and then we'll pull the service in. Nice and easy. Okay, everything here is each individual string, which is 14 panels.
Okay.
How it goes is row 1 starts in the front, which is the bottom row.
Okay.
And that's the first row of panels. Row 2, row 3, row 4, row 5, and so forth, all the way down the string. So if there was ever an issue, this breaker would trip, and we know exactly, okay, it's row 7, so we walk over there, it's row 7.
Got it.
Top breaker here is the lightning arrestor.
Oh.
Okay?
All right.
In case anything gets hit by lightning, I want it to hit this instead of the inverters or anything like that. All this is fused. If there's ever an issue, these fuses will blow, and then they're easy to replace.
Okay.
These are your CTs. This is what goes around the wire. Read the voltage going through your wires.
Okay.
And then, along with this one here, this is your communication CT. So all of these are fuses to make it where we have power down here.
Pipe right here
Uh-huh.
goes to 2 ground rods underneath the pad.
Okay.
Not that they had to be under the pad, but it's just a good place to put them for protection,
All right.
so they couldn't get damaged. Nobody will ever pick them up or dig up your ground wire. And that's it. Then the house has 2 ground rods, and everything's tied together from here to there,
Okay.
one way or the other. So things are
Covered.
grounded. Okay, when you're thinking about installing solar on your property or whatever, you're going to want to consider the big picture, the overall picture of the installation, which entails some other items such as, do you need to upgrade your panel? Will you ever consider installing a generator? And how those items coordinate together so that you're not backtracking later and doing things twice and having regrets. So you're going to want to draw out a big overall plan. You're going to want to talk to an electrical contractor about this because it can get pretty involved and there's a lot of codes and rules involved in it. So, but you'll save yourself some trouble down the road if you do that.
This particular meter has 2 different registers on it. A delivered register, that's electricity that we've delivered to you, and a received register, that's electricity that you've delivered to us, the excess from what your solar panels are making after your house has used up everything else that it's making. It's indicated by these 2 little numbers down here on the lower left-hand corner. We didn't have enough room to write delivered and received, so we had to use two numbers. 04, which is showing now, is your delivered kilowatt hour reading. That's the amount of electricity that we've delivered to you. The next one to come up is going to be the 40. The 40 is electricity that we've received from you, the excess after the house is used, what it's used, the electricity that's actually hit back to the grid. Your electric bill is a combination of those 2. We deliver you 1,000, you send us 100, we send you a bill for 900 kilowatt hours.
Okay. And then the arrows going different directions.
Yeah, the arrow pointing to the right now means that you're using electricity. The little lights are lighting up from the left-hand side to the right-hand side.
Okay.
That means we're delivering to you. When that little arrow blinks over to the other side and they start going from right to left, then you know you're making more than what you're using and putting electricity back onto the grid.
Okay.